Hi, I'm JC Pohl from Teen Truth, and welcome to our two-part web series on building campus relationships from the inside out. We all want to build a great school culture. A lot of times we'll face challenging times on campus with students and staff, but I've found in my work traveling to over 1,000 schools that relationships are kind of the secret sauce to really help build school culture and build school community. So in this two-part web series, I want to spend some time talking to you about your staff and the key relational needs that they have, because the truth is we all have needs. Every single one of us have needs. We're not always comfortable talking about it all the time. Definitely not something we always want to talk about at work. But you see, you and I are human beings. We are social animals and we thrive in community and we need connection in our life. And one thing I've found being a marriage and family therapist as well as a counselor is that when relationships break down in our life, when our needs are not met, that is when all of the inner conflict, personal conflict, relational conflict, all of the drama that we see in our lives, in our schools, and at work tends to boil over because those core relational needs are not being met. I've had the fortune of working with teachers and staff members across the country in our campus relationships workshop. And during the workshop, I do this really cool thing on the internet. It's called Mentimeter. It's a great website if you want to check it out. I think it's menti.com is their website. But in the staff training, we were able to do an online poll that's live that captures the staff's top relational needs. And I just want to show you a few of these. And you'll see as you look through these that there's some key needs that are always really high with our teachers and our staff members. Over here we have support and respect, kind of the 1 and 2, and appreciation over here on the far side. Let's check out another one. Support, respect, appreciation. You see encouragement usually pretty high. Check out this one, appreciation, respect, support. Are you seeing a theme here? A few more. This was with a group of principals, all right? Over 100 principals were at this conference. 93 of them that were in the conference listed respect as one of their top needs. Of course, support, appreciation, encouragement hanging in there at number 4. And last one, check this one out. This was with another large group. Again, support, number 1. Respect, number 2. Oh, there's encouragement at number 3, and appreciation coming in at number 4. So in my time working with administrators, counselors, staff members, I've found that it's these 4 key relational needs that our staff members are often struggling with. And it's what I wanted to focus with you in this two-part web series. Your staff is dealing with challenges right now. They're dealing with hard times. They're having to educate students. They're being pushed to their edges. They're being pushed professionally. And so I am wondering, as an educational leader, if you are able to help meet these needs for your staff members, or if you're able to help them meet these needs within each other's relationships. I'm wondering what might change on your campus, what might change at your school, and what might change in the lives of your students and your staff members as well. So let's go ahead and dig in here in part 1 of this web series. We're going to look at appreciation. So what is appreciation? Appreciation is a high need that we all have. Appreciation is expressing thanks, giving praise, recognizing what someone has done. Okay, not necessarily who they are, but something they've done. And so often I find as I travel the country that teachers are working so hard. They're working with parents and students that sometimes are difficult to deal with. They're putting so much extra time in. And I found a lot of times that they feel underappreciated in their work. But every now and then when we recognize what someone else has done and we go out of our way to meet that need, that could be a game changer for that person or the people that they're interacting with on a daily basis. What's the opposite of appreciation though? Well, the opposite of appreciation is criticism. That's kind of like looking at what's wrong as opposed to what's right with someone. We don't like to be criticized. We all like to maybe be coached. We like to be supported, but we never want someone to come in and kind of look at what we're doing wrong. We want someone to appreciate everything that we're doing right. So what are some ways that you can help meet the need of appreciation on campus for your staff? Well, one of the things that I think you can do that I've seen work really well in our workshop is simply put staff members in the position to show appreciation to each other. Whether that's via something you might do on social media, something you might do via Zoom, or something you might do just in person during a staff meeting or during a team meeting, or just when they're in the hallway talking to you, right? Ask them, say, hey, what's the one thing that you appreciate about this teacher? What have they done that you really appreciate? I've even seen this work well in my marriage counseling. When I have a high conflict couple, I love to throw this curveball at them. They come in, they sit down, and I say, hey, Mr. Jones, can you tell me something that you really appreciate about your wife? Boom, it changes the whole energy in that room. Oh, Mrs. Jones, can you tell me something that you appreciate? Just kind of introduce me to Mr. Jones here. What do you appreciate about him? Boom, the whole energy of the session completely changes, right? I'm wondering how the energy on your campus might change. The other thing that you can do, I'm assuming you're watching this video because you're an educational leader, is you can go out of your way to show appreciation. Your voice carries a lot of weight. The action, the things that you do on campus, on social media, via email, via phone calls, whatever it is, has an impact. And so if you can take your time, even if you need to make a little note in your calendar, like, hey, I'm going to show appreciation to 5 staff members today. I'm going to go out of my way to recognize something they've done. I think that will start to help build relationships on your campus. And then, of course, the last thing that I was thinking of that we've seen work really well here at Teen Truth in our business is just giving a gift or a token of thanks. You know, one thing that we do for our clients when you bring us to your school, we enroll all of our clients in what we call our Culture Warrior Club. We believe that people that bring Teen Truth on campus, they're warriors for school culture. And so we spend the next 2 years supporting and rooting for that client, all right? Not their school, but for them to be the best culture warrior possible. We send them free swag, we send them books, but the most popular thing that we do, that we get the most feedback on, is we send them a $5 Starbucks card. And in the note, I write a handwritten note every time, and I just say, hey, I know you're working really hard now. I know it might seem like life is moving pretty fast. Please use this token of thanks to buy yourself 5 minutes of personal time and reflection. And you'd be amazed the selfies, the pictures, the phone calls that we get thanking us for that $5 Starbucks card. Super easy, super simple, totally something that you can be doing on your campus with your staff and your teachers. So appreciation, as we saw in the graph earlier, is a big need for our teachers. But another need that they have is support. What is support? It's a very specific need that we have. Support is coming alongside others, all right? It doesn't mean that you go there and do something for someone. It's actually walking alongside of them. I often tell my clients in therapy, like, I don't know if you've ever seen that Footprints poem about the guy that was walking on the beach or whatever, and his footprints, there's only like one track of footprints, and they say, that's when God was carrying you or whatever. And I've always liked that poem. And I think for me as a therapist, I want that poem to be a little different. Like, I want that image to be a little different, right? I want to look back at the footprints on the beach and see 2 tracks of footprints to let my clients know that I was walking alongside with them during the challenges that they face. I think that's the same thing for you as an educational leader. You're going to deal with challenges. Your staff is going to be frustrated. There's going to be things that come up. Will they feel that you are walking alongside of them, or their fellow staff members walking alongside of them? To support someone also means providing gentle, appropriate assistance with that problem or struggle. Again, not doing it for them, but going out of our way to help them. I'll always tell parents, young trees need strong winds. We want our students to struggle. We want them to deal with challenges. We want them to develop that growth mindset. And that means we can't do things for them. We need to support them, consult with them to help them work through the challenges. So here is a great example of what it looks like to truly show support to someone.
Mr. Goodman? What makes you think you're qualified for this job?
Oh! Ah! Stop punching me!
Stop punching
Please,
me.
sir, no! Don't throw me!
No, not the fish.
Don't touch me! Keep your hands off of me! Don't throw me out!
Next.
is, huh? Get it? Bring it!
This time, you gotta get in the groove. It's easy. You just let your body move. I'm a love guru. Your mother won't.
So that's a great example of what it looks like to truly show support to someone. Would you be willing to do that for your staff members? Would they be willing to do that for you? Would they be willing to do that for each other? What would change on campus if you could cultivate those type of relationships and that type of culture where people are willing to do whatever it takes to support one another? Now, what's the opposite of support? In my mind, I kind of struggled with the word to put here on screen, but I think this is it. Giving advice, right? That's kind of the opposite of support. Giving advice to someone and just hoping it gets better. Just hoping they can follow it. That's not what support is. Support is stepping in, helping them, being there with them. Maybe giving that advice, but not hoping it just goes okay, but lending that hand and helping them out. So what are some things that you can do to lend support on campus and build a culture of support? Well, the first thing I was thinking is just kind of create that culture of vulnerability. You can do this as an educational leader. There's a lot of great people that do this as well. I know like a lot of folks like to read Brene Brown or watch her videos on YouTube or see her talks. She does a really good job talking about the power of vulnerability. And I really believe as a counselor that vulnerability is kind of like that. Again, it's that secret sauce, that pixie dust that helps relationships get formed, because when we're vulnerable, when we express what we're going through, that is what allows the need to be expressed, right? And if we can agree that we're social animals that have needs, then it's really important for us to be able to express our needs, to be vulnerable about what we're going through so we can see that someone needs support. How do you create that culture? Well, for example, Brene Brown's a great example. Look up some of her videos, listen to her podcast, read a book, put her quotes up in the faculty room, whatever that might look like. Use her memes on your Facebook and Instagram pages. Letting people know that you care about vulnerability. The other thing I think that I've seen work really well is just modeling what vulnerability looks like. Some staff members get a little standoffish. Maybe they've been in education for a while. This is a struggle for some people. Maybe they grew up in a family where vulnerability was not appreciated. Maybe they've had experiences in life where vulnerability was not appreciated. If you can model what that looks like, I believe that they will follow your lead in that example. The other thing I was thinking we could do is just create a whatever it takes mentality. Like, that's what my football coach in high school taught us. We had these shirts senior year. That was our slogan for the football team. Whatever it takes, we're going to get to the championship. And that's what he preached to us all year long. I don't care if you're a linebacker, a quarterback, an offensive lineman, you're going to do whatever it takes to get us there. Whatever I ask you to do, you're going to do it. We actually made the championship, but we lost. That's another story for another time. But I think if you can create that type of mentality that we're all in, and you can use some of that wording, right? Like maybe that hashtag all in. Our district here where I live in Texas, that's actually the hashtag they use, all in, DSISD, or hashtag DSISD, all in. That's what they write on like everything they post. So maybe you can pick something up like that too, that team mentality. And then of course, how can I pitch in? I mean, as an educational leader, I know you're like super busy, life is busy, you got a lot of things going on, but if you can ask, how can I pitch in? That's amazing, right? That could be a game changer. That could like shift someone's perspective. If the principal, the counselor, the activity director, the vice principal, whoever it is, walks up to that custodian and says, hey, how can I pitch in to help get this done? Walks into the math department meeting. Hey guys, what can I pitch in? How can I pitch in to help you guys meet your goals this semester? What can I do? And then you show up and you do that. That's support. That is meeting the need of support, which we saw when we looked at the graphs earlier was a top need for educators. So thank you so much for joining us here in part 1 of this web series. In the next part, we'll look at the other 2 of the 4 important needs that educators have. We'll look at respect and encouragement and how you can kind of create that kind of culture on campus as well. So thanks for stopping by. You have a great day.